Welcome back, everyone. Cloud9 managed to get themselves into a pretty good situation to start off with here in this series. They do it 16-9 on Inferno, and you got to say it was looking quite impressive, right? Improving on what we've seen from them already, starting to gel together a little bit more, and they did give Rogue a bit more of a battle than we expected, I think.
I think the big difference obviously was CT side. That's something they've been struggling with, at least across pretty much across all the maps.
Yeah.
T-sides have been okay. This time around, getting 8 rounds, pretty much all the same once again. Just grinding. Also, I saw Rogue. I think the boys also touched on this during the cast, that Rogue seemed a little hesitant in some of their V-takes. I mean, we saw like 4-on-4 situations where they just decided to abandon, like they're already set up and everything, but then just decided to bail. I understand it from one perspective, which is the fact that yes, you need a lot of utility on CT side Inferno to try and defend against these attacks. Obviously, like this point of the map, banana, very necessary for you to have mollies and smokes. But sometimes you just gotta go and bite the bullet and go for try and get that retake done, because otherwise you're not gonna look at a happy scoreboard after the first half.
Well, no, it wasn't a happy scoreboard at all, especially with Cloud9 winning both the pistol rounds there. And what we touched on this earlier with Inferno. Pistol rounds, B rush, why not? It just keeps happening again and again.
Yeah, no, it is a working concept. So rinse and repeat. I think again we see a bit of difference. Flusha now moved from B to A. He's seems like he's the guy getting swift around, and it actually looked really good. I mean, very mobile CT side there from Cloud9. Actually making good decision making, also happening to stack the apartments in the right rounds, making good 2-for-1 trades, making it 4-and-3 advantages, and Flash are really good in quad area also.
Yeah.
Just trying to be a bit of an annoying player there, making damage, but also trying to delay the opponents as far as possible, and then just going all the way back to the bomb site, and then they'll have these nice little crossfires here together with Rush.
And one of the players you touched on when we were talking in our pre-match, right, was Automatic, how vital he would be. And time again, this man delivers. In clutch moments, in moments that were vital, there was a point where they were pushing up top, mid, coming around arch side. He was there to close it out, and had he gone down, would have given a weapon, they would have had the upgraded pistols, they potentially would have lost the round.
Yeah, it was also, the scoreline was pretty tight at that point in time as well. It was a half buy from Rogue, plummeting through a smoke. There was one kill going the way of Rogue, and then Automatic comes to the rescue, just putting together a meat grinder basically in that arch side, getting multi-kills. Sometimes that's just necessary, and he has shown time and time again that he's capable of doing these kind of plays, and that's very important for Cloud9.
Now, next we go on to Cash. Now, Cash, we've only seen him play it once so far throughout this season with this roster at all, and they did end up losing it 16-8. But again, I can't really say that's something to go off of now, because they have improved throughout on this. Now, we've got to say, prior to Flusha, they had some good results on it, but it's not been the most consistent ones for them. They managed to take Made in Brazil, who at the time was just a new Made in Brazil, down 19-17. But Rogue, in general, they've had a bit of a mixed bag of results as well. They can win versus Luminosity, but also drop out to E United. So I feel like, again, this is a match that could go either way, but if Cloud9 play like we saw in Inferno, you certainly have to give them the edge.
I think the cool part is that we can definitely say that Cloud9 does adjust. I mean, we saw the changes, Flusha moving back from B to A, and things definitely looked a lot better there for the CT side of C9. They were also making a lot of plays, so that's a promising sign. I mean, T-sides have already been okay on a map like Cash, for example. You know, the stylistic way that Golden wants to call for this team.
Yeah.
A lot of defaults, going to be a lot of mid-controlled, and then just plays afterwards, and when need be, when there might be like a scrappy buy, whatever, they'll have the execute plays towards that A bomb side. So yeah, I feel like, you know, if Cloud9 can definitely import that that improvements for the CT side of Inferno into a map like Cash, definitely they look good.
Now, we're definitely agreeing, right, that Cloud9 have stepped things up a little bit further. It's just been a few days in terms of how it's worked. Well, how long would you say it's fair to give Cloud9 with these roster changes, bringing Golden in as the in-game leader? Because it's a very different style to what we've seen on Cloud9.
I feel like 2-3 months is like a time frame that you usually want to give like a new lineup to, especially when you have a whole philosophical, like a change to the way and the approach of the game and everything. And obviously, you know, you're bringing in Scandinavian, European talent into the lineup, so it's a big change. Obviously, Cloud9 wanted to go for a more tactical way of playing already once they implemented FNS. Didn't work out exactly as intended. And then, you know, obviously Stiko came in, and then eventually Tarek left, and things got a little weird. And now they've got even more weird with 2 Swedes and 3 North Americans.
Yeah, if you told us this a year ago, right, that would literally never, ever happen. But we are going to quickly try and get back into this. So one final thought on this. Do you believe Rogue can bring this back?
I think they have a chance at making it close, but I feel like Cloud9 showcasing what they have definitely has a good chance at it.
All right, guys, take it away. The game is already underway.
Ooh, hot into the pistol here, Mohan.
Looks like it's going to be a quick one.
Already setting up towards doors. Crystal's going to be coming off a main. They do have the Soul Lingerer in the form of Rikke.
Quick Rikke.
Patient. We said a quick one, but once they got to the door frame, they're getting second guesses. Butterflies in their stomachs. Wobbly knees. They probably know what's on the other side. A very impressive Cloud9 at the end of Inferno, trying to translate said success into the beginning of Cash. Money, money.
Very standard pistol explosion. Great way to go. Just to put the majority of players in squeaky, close to the bomb plant zone, open that door, have the cross smoke coordinated with the players crossing, and keep it simple. Love this. Also get their first kill as well. And now the smoke's gonna go up soon. The retake is on. The USPs are encroaching.
Skadoodle, that's not gonna help. Flush up, trying to get this one started. And he will continue a little bit more. Automatic 1v3, that's what is gonna have to come down here. And he just doesn't have the time to make this happen. So Rogue begin with a pistol win.
Yeah, off to the wrong foot, or Cloud9 with a little bit of a flub there from a couple of players on the team. So they tried to get onto the B site. Obviously, Skadoodle, did he get 2 kills and then he got 1 canceled out because he got a team kill, or does it count differently because he's on a private server?
I think you were right. The previous.
Okay.
Option A.
Okay.
C.
It would have been cool to see. Would have been cool to see someone with negative kills. Haven't seen that in a long time.
Haven't played enough Counter-Strike with Hugo then.
EU caster, by the way.
I like to make fun of him when he can't defend himself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's most of the time.
Bet you'd still take him down.
Yeah, if there's anyone I think I could confidently
Just
beat up in
1v1
esports,
kerfuffle.
yeah, it's him. I mean, I feel
You
like
should. They're doing the YouTube boxing thing.
I was gonna
you know?
say.
You could challenge him.
I could officially extend a challenge.
You could stage the whole thing. The whole
But
thing was
I
staged
wouldn't.
anyway.
I want to be the guy who, you don't want to beat up a smaller kid than you. You know.
Yeah, you only want to do it verbally online from a distance.
Screw it. I'm gonna take down James Banks.
You're gonna pick a fight with him.
I mean, that's probably suicide.
I'm not trying to lose a co-commentator.
Slow round from Rogue, and I don't blame them. There could be threats around all these corners, and there is, most of which towards mid. And then a little double on B. Rush not going to clear the corner. Hiko just behind the door. Comes out like a bit of a troll. Crystal gets himself some mid control, and Rikke then helps out with the frag on highway. So this is a beautiful sweep from Rogue. This is almost flawless so far. 2 points of damage, literally all that Rogue have had to sustain. Then the Deagle connects. But it's only 1, and so it's a second. Good job from Rogue there. I think playing patient, waiting for Cloud9 to make a mistake, which starts off with that man walking into door. I mean, could have caught someone off guard, but because there's time for Rogue, that's obviously why Hiko's not in the front, but rather the back of that door.
I like that they played it just like they did on the pistol, and they kept it nice and simple. Split on A, basically explode on contact. Except this time they had the 1 player in door, majority in A main. Just a slight adjustment to make up for differing circumstances. Everybody in A main takes some damage, but that's all they're going to take. They've still got Hammer. They don't have to rebuy, no problem. Cloud9, however, have had a few kills so far. Not any guns that they're taking into this round, except for the 1 Deagle on Skadoodle. Skadaddy, Skadonglers. Skabonkers. Skabangers.
There's a lot of renditions.
He has a funny name. That's why like Smooya had like everyone chanting his name, because it's a funny name. It's a fun name to say.
Yeah, that's why at
a little
ESL
goofy,
New
but it's
York,
fun.
where Smooya was not in attendance, there were still Smooya chants.
Smooya.
I feel bad for Def.
His name is just so hard to chant, but
Yeah.
he's so lovable. You know.
He is actually an incredibly nice guy.
Yeah, and very good.
2 UK players in the top 8.
It's
in the
actually
major.
nuts. There's more UK players than Swedes.
Yeah.
Just
That's
Olaf
bizarre.
locking it down for an
What
entire country.
What a time. What a time to be alive. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Or
And,
UK players in Poles or Swedes.
Rogue.
Or Frenchies in top 8.
Yeah, wow, how the times are changing.
I mean, I don't know if it'll stay that way,
No, of course.
but
But for now, let us enjoy the glory.
yeah. And they won the last major, by the way.
BT dubs. 3-0. Rogue obviously just moving past those pistols. Cloud9 not even letting them die. So in that sense, they deny a little bit of money. Money's not a problem. Rogue are fine. Still going to keep that 1 MAC-10 and a UMP with it. Other than that, it's AKs, Galil, rifles are there. Only op belongs to automatic. And it looks like he's going to head out towards middle with the majority of his team. A 3-man setup with 1 player per extremity. Normally this is what's going to transition into the boost. Who's going up and over?
Sometimes I wonder about, oh, wow. He crouched. If Golden jumped, that would have been noise. I wonder if he just canceled it. Just going to play this double setup. Can be very risky if teams are going to take careful control of mid where they throw Molotovs over the boost. Like, at this point, resmoking mid is not something you typically want to waste a smoke on late into the round. But here they do the quiet boost. They get up and over.
I like that they frag it just before, because what that says is there's somebody at the back of middle. And if there's somebody at the back, odds are there wouldn't be 2 players in the middle of a boost, right?
Absolutely.
Because how often is that 3-player stack meant to be? So it's meant to bolster false confidence, but I think Sick has wind as to what may be up.
Yeah, he might, I think what you said is totally true. He might not have anything better to do in that moment, but now they're peeling off of their anti-eco. Golden's going to have someone run right back into him. It's actually Crystal this time. And Sick's like, haha, it wasn't me.
Nice entry from Rikke. Skadoodle just cleared from headshot instantaneously. Hiko even going to find the flank to Golden, you'd think? No, sir. Caught in the skies. So 4v3 bomb planted. Cloud9 not necessarily all too close. Still going to cost a bit of time to get into position for the retake. Rikke's should be getting another kill because Golden has 3 HP. It's just 1 bullet, Rikke. Just 1.
That's all it takes. You got 35.
Oh, but he looks away. I wonder if the timing comes back to bite him.
Wow.
Yeah, gives up the angle. Golden actually just crouches underneath the shot. Vice's crosshair offset because 2 players present themselves at the exact same time. So Sick from the corner with a multi-frag already. Not the 4th. No way. He just shuts it right down.
I've got my hands over my face. I can't believe he just won before just like that. 6-0. And Rogue up 4 rounds. That was so unexpected.
Not supposed to happen.
The levels of energy just rose so dramatically. Like,
Ever. Never, ever. 4 versus 1. He's pinned into the corner. No cover. Rock and roll.
From second oranges, they cleared him. They knew exactly where he was. They had a player far back, 1 close up, 1 to the left of that guy. Golden was on a tear, just got 3 kills that he shouldn't have gotten. It was over.
Careful. Rikke's got a gap. Slaps Fusha back and leaves them 5v4, but it's already A main control grabbed by Cloud9. They nabbed it when the attention was not there. However, Crystal prepared for the walkout, and Rikke the exact same. Come on.
Rush has been having a tough time. Past couple of maps that round. As the last player, very unlike him to make mechanical flubs. Usually super consistent. Oh my gosh, it's automatic cross? No, Ricky's too aware.
Players go over top. Just step on his head. Like a mob. They still clear it. Rogue up to a 5th. This is an excellent T-side started to piece itself together.
I mean, where is this game if Sick doesn't win that 1v4?
Yeah. Could have been tied for all we know. But solid start. It is the T side of Cash. Can sometimes get away from certain teams, and maybe Cloud9 are going to fall victim to that.
Yeah, definitely that. But it is true that, like, Golden, like you were saying, Rikke has 35 bullets, and all he needs to hit is a 1. Golden just crouches under the angle with 3 HP and finds a headshot. Golden gets the flank kill on Crystal and then gets tagged down so low, still wins another duel. Like, maybe they shouldn't have even come close to winning that round. So potentially Rogue are, are at 5-0 and they deserve it. And so now we'll have another shot at it. We'll see, can Cloud9 pull off some of those really phantasmalistic frags? Or will Rogue simply clean up?
It's going to be another silent walk up. Just trying to get within proximity of the B site. Once they cross this main door, that's when it would be Skadoodle with vision. Op of Automatic, currently positioned towards Truck on the other side, so Rikke is not going to find him here with his scoped up. Vice playing Counterflash too. This is very susceptible to Golden walking up and peeking B main. He'd literally blindside Vice.
Maybe his spidey sense will kick in.
It's a real golden opportunity. Molotov towards heaven. Golden still yet to make his move. Skadoodle cleared first and a nice double headshot. That's a big play from Golden, and now he just needs to keep himself standing. His teammates coming over as quick as they could. Bomb thrown out into the open, slowed things down a bit. Oh, wow. Here's the footsteps, definitely. Nails the shot.
Yeah.
Pushes this onto Rikke to clutch, and he just gets shut down.
From the heavens as well. Wow, nice shots from Automatic. Oh my goodness. Great round from Golden as well. It's looking very sharp from that checker position, but man. Yeah, these are the 2 clean headshots. Easy. Just as many bullets as he needed. Forced them to execute through the Molotov as well. So Cloud9 look a whole lot better all of a sudden. 2 out to mid, 1-2-2 setup. Automatic, the first person out. It's going to smoke naturally. And Boost gets smoked as well. No one's actually come up and over it. So I'm actually curious why they did that. It might just be a wasted grenade. They can pull the attention here, but they're not doing anything in this default just yet. Flesh is holding on to his.
Gotta make sure you convert. So that first kill from Rush is very crucial. Just splatters Rikke on the back wall of main. Turns his back, nearly caught by Crystal. Maybe doesn't expect for this timing to have worked out in Crystal's favor. Rush still just trying to keep his head on a swivel. Man towards door distracts. Crystal continues to walk up and will find Automatic, but the second still has fork cover. And this can be a very dangerous position if you are a T. Sure enough. Catches the angle versus Crystal. Hiko still indoor. 45 seconds. And the B player, Sick, yet to activate. No, excuse me, that was Vice. He's actually removed. Now all the duels go the way of Cloud9. This is looking like a second, certainly. Poor Hiko cannot get out of this position, and when he finally does, not going to be a problem for Cloud9.
Yeah, not at all. No, they easily clean that up, and it just looks like in the default now, Cloud9 are much stronger. I imagine Rogue at this point should turn to a potential execute to try to change the pace. Maybe something like a full A or a fast B, because the entries, when they've slowed it down, have not gone in their favor. But in those earlier rounds, they maybe had a confirmation bias because it was looking a lot better. As did we, I'm sure. Whoa. Very awkward.
Very fast trade frags inside of middle. Sick looking to get himself one on B. Automatic falls back. Skadoodle not going to be able to keep vision on door, so these terrorists have gotten so incredibly close already. Crystal with a great angle does catch Automatic on the walk-up. Golden's here to save Skadoodle for the time being. Rikke and Sick going to have to work their magic now. 2v2. Sick has gotten into the CT spawn. Comes back for Skadoodle, who's completely turned. I mean, this is an easy kill. So the big question is, what can Rush do about this? It's being watched by Rikke. Wow, what a headshot. Rapid flash and a wrap around towards the second door. Sick yet to get this bomb in. Could actually try to fall back, and in doing so opens up the possibility of running A. Time is everything here. But the big question mark is, how far does Sick go? And which route does he take?
Yeah, this is crazy. Rush actually straight up following him. Typically not the thing you do, just because of how risky it is when you know that the player could outplay you and stop, and Sick actually calls him out. Very atypical duel there at mid as he just kind of stops halfway between A and baits Rush into following right behind him.
Reinvestment, you'd think, for sure. It's not going to be great. Skadoodle very limited here, $1,800. So he'll grab the Kevlar CZ smoke. Everybody else is all right. Just light on nades, that's all. No kit either, so keep an eye on that if the retake does get rolling. Rogue certainly rolling immediately into this A site. I mean, rapid grenades trying to just make this pace so fast that it's uncontrollable, but Rush will survive the test. And Automatic's going to try to quickly flank as well, looking to envelop Rogue. As they attempt to get closer to the A site, their bodies continue to fall. Crystal blindsided from behind, Vice all alone. And with 5 opponents to take down, odds certainly against him.
Yeah, and now Cloud9 win another round, but this time they do it versus a very fast take of Rogue, which is something new from them. And definitely I saw why they wanted to try something like that, but just Rush was just right there from that corner of smoke. I remember him getting a 3K from a very similar position the other day and made it look very easy. Hiko and Sick immediately melted down with that clean M4A4 spray. So going to pop the vent over at B. 3 players are look to support it, I think. No, it's actually just 2 at mid. One's going to fall back, play around the white box, and they're going to stick to a 2-1-2 as Rogue now are back on the pistols. Sick at least. Actually, everybody's got armor, however, so for some reason they decided to force. I don't really see the value in them forcing in this situation. Like, Cloud9 have a great buy. They're going to have, there's such a disparity between the weaponry and utility that they have. Cloud9 literally have 4 kits. Like, they didn't skimp on anything. And they have a little bit of money left over. Why force here? Tell me, Connor.
I don't know, Mohan. I don't have the answers to your questions. I'm no oracle. Just a guy.
Just a dude.
Could just try to find this Deagle duel, but Flush is being very mobile. That's going to make it really tough versus pistol plays. Right? That's actually one of the best ways, I think, to offset the ability of the Deagle entry. Big counter to the deco. Stay moving. Like you said, the time to reset the aim is forever. But if you hit your first shot like Crystal, not going to be a problem. 35 seconds, and they've yet to really make much map control. 6 going to get in close proximity of Highway. We can question the buy all we want, but if it works out, they'll have an argument to defend it.
Yeah, they did do the Inferno round with a similar force-up.
And managed to make it work?
Yeah.
Let's see if they can do it again. Time really pushing it now. 15 seconds. They know it's an absolute commitment to the A site. B not moving until finally they go. It is on Rush, and he mows down 2. This is it. Time is theirs. Now these T's need to stay up, unless they can get all the kills, but they won't. They decide to bail.
They could have gone for that. They could have definitely almost won that. Vice, I mean, he had to win his duel, but if he did, and they had agreed, like, to just...
I would have been happy to be wrong if they managed to just rob that back in the last second.
Though. And it is weird that they took so long, like, to get like onto the site. They really didn't give themselves enough time to plant, and they were given all the space they needed. Like, they were able to get an A main. They used a Deagle to try to open up mid. They finally got that frag, but then they didn't move ahead in time. So it is a weird. It was a weird buy, like just in terms of cost benefit, but I don't know. I guess it came close, so there's something there.
And sick purchases here.
Yeah, does he have just more money than everyone else? No, he doesn't. He's actually just going to grab the AK and see if he can entry, because maybe he's doing well. It's also strange. The money going to be so lopsided following this round. Vice only has 50 bucks. Oh, because he died last round.
Traded back and forth. Stick's still up, so they've only dropped the pistols off of Rogue so far. He is 12-3 at the moment, so if anybody's going to do work.
Yeah, 2 entries going to win a round. We said it, and that still remains true. And if they're careful, they can recycle the AK a number of times.
Yeah, right. Just because he buys it doesn't mean he needs to die this round. So,
no, and even like even if he dies, someone else could pick it up.
Yeah, right.
Depending on the spot. So yeah.
Just want to get out of this round with it. If not the win, Skadoodle. With 1 kill, gold in the other. Last man in the end is sick, so at least the pistols fall first, but you'd assume he's the next to die. And in doing so, you'd be correct, folks. Golden drops him at the end. That's Cloud9 moving this 1 round closer, and that is all now that makes the difference. 1 round. Should be an easy one, considering the money for Rogue is still strapped.
Yeah, it absolutely is. So it looks like Sick decided to... Oh, he's going to drop a MAC-10 over to Crystal. Vice also has a somewhat suspect buy, but at least they get utility out of it, so they've got 3 rifles. And I guess they're just splitting the difference here. So Flusha's going to be the first person to take contact. Automatic sees one drop, but doesn't want to peek out too far and expose himself to Z. Sick somehow gets that entry on Flusha. I can't believe it. Automatic goes down as well, but the trades are in.
Everybody's falling like flies. Rapid kills here. Mid control also taken. Good stuff from Rogue. They've got a 4v2 to work with. Rush, in an attempt to attack the back line, will find no one at the moment, but bombs going his way. And now he's gone and thrown a wrench in the works. Skadoodle as well. Spots 2 more from mid, and this is Cloud9 picking up pieces. Hiko has to clutch this. And he doesn't have any more teammates to work with. Will still have full health. Smoke double flash. Knows where Skadoodle fell back. But how far did he go? That's the question. Great flash. Excellent teamwork. Awesome play from Cloud9.
Wow, they totally called that out. They didn't know where Hiko was. They just made a really good guess. And, you know, he's the man that always holds down Squeaky. So here's the flank from Rush that takes attention away from Skadoodle so that he can come out of that smoke and get 2 kills. And somehow, by the skin of their teeth, Cloud9 went around, all with everybody, almost everyone dying at mid. Quite precarious. And now Rogue are back on the pistols. Not going to buy up or force up or play any, do anything funny this round. Instead, are going to sit back. 6 spends a little bit more than everyone else just to grab that scout. I guess this is their strategy, is just playing so well.
Keep it going.
Keep it going. Keep the train rolling.
What's the next station?
Choo Choo Town. I couldn't think of a name, so I went with the sound that a train makes, and then I said Choo Choo Town because that's the sound that a train makes. In case you need an explanation for how I came up with Choo Choo Town as an answer to your question, Connor.
You know, believe it or not, I had a pretty good guess. That was it. A little deductive logic. Or inductive.
Deductible.
I'm not getting into that one. You're a philosophy major. You'll chew me apart. DDK loves logic.
We're off the rails at this point.
Off the rails to Choo Choo Town.
The Choo Choo Train Town.
Russian automatic locking down the A site. Nobody's really applying pressure. They've given up middle, Mohan. Even though Cloud9 understand what's going on, they're not feeling all too pressured at this moment. But once the time continues to crunch, pressure will sink in, and so could the teeth of Rogue. They want to take a bite out of either bomb site, but flush us straight through walls. Not a problem for him. Rush has got his M4 honed forward, where of course the T's will come from, but all right, Hiko. And Sick gets a kill with the scout. Sure, it's a man advantage, but time is enough. Rikke cannot handle the deagle. The 50 cal gets away from him. And the scout shot not gonna take down the man from truck. It will soften him, however, making this easier and easier. But man, Hiko, best of luck. He's got 3 frags, 3 assists, and he needs 3 more here and now. Already has a man up close, sprays him first, and he upgrades into the AWP. Cannot manage the shot. The defuse connects. This is a round for Cloud9.
Nice, nicely played. I feel bad for Rush. He seemed like he had all the focus in the world, and he was ready for that position, and Hiko fell right into his lap and then ended up dying anyway. That was a rough one. Something else happened that was really important that I wanted to talk about, but I completely forgot my train of thought because I confused myself by talking too much. And you were rocking back and forth.
Yeah, trying to stay focused.
Gotcha. Just like Rush in that position at Forklift when he was about to kill Hiko as he fell into his lap.
Is that what you want to bring up?
That was actually the first thing I brought up. That made me forget what I was going to bring up next.
So bring it up twice and you'll be all right. 2 more rounds to go. Who nabs him? Who gets that edge? Does Cloud9 extend into the 9-6? Does Rogue rob back to the 8-7? Only one way to find out, and that's to give these teams more time to duke this out. It's been incredibly close. Rogue, even when playing off of a back foot, have managed to shake me to the core, so I can only imagine what that's like for Cloud9. Not going to want to sleep on any of these moments. That most previous round, incredibly close. I feel like if Rikke can control truck a little longer, cut it down to just 2 retakers, could have been a whole other ballpark.
Whole nother esport. MLB 19.
Sports games.
Omega lol. Okay, Rush
Falls
from
off.
top ropes. Clean exit
RKO's Crystal out of nowhere.
out of nowhere. He's Slytherin. And I'm not talking Harry Potter.
Sick over top. Not going to find anything in middle. The only form of defense is Flusha floating around white box. Gets double peek, but still manages a kill. Very crucial he finds it then and there. One bullet less, and that's a twofer. Golden going to try to control the vents. There's only 8 seconds left. They need to sprint. What has gone down here, Mohan?
They're looking a little dysfunctional now. They're just running out of time constantly. First it was a little weird retakes on Inferno, and now it's just running dry on time. Not exactly sure what's happening.
Analyze that.
I can't. Thank you. Golden's 15-7. You can really see that Golden and Flusha are just kind of like throwing themselves in the face of frags constantly whenever they have the opportunity to duel. Like Flusha's being very aggressive at white box. Golden is so aggressive. He's like blowing my mind with like how aggressive he's been, but he's having a game for himself, so it's really working well.
Uh-oh.
That's his, right? Oh my goodness.
What? Rush
And then Rush knocks down the bomb.
slaps him back with a double. Bomb on top of it, like you said, and Crystal not going to be able to really contest. Whoa, will still find a slight gap in the flames.
My goodness. Look how big it got after he left.
Yeah, I like that he goes for the peak right before it spreads, so he takes some damage, but minimal amounts. Big play from Rush, though. I feel like Rikke definitely could have hit that.
Ricky flubbed it. He freaked out a bit. Overflicked.
Whoa. Flush a run.
Oh my goodness gracious.
There's a lot of shenanigans going down inside A main.
It's getting real crazy. Last game of the day, folks.
It's a war zone. Last round of the half as well, so if we're going to get weird, let's do it now. And we're going to see if Cloud9 can just dispatch of Rogue in the second half as they did on Inferno. That's been the trend with a couple games tonight.
Ooh. Looks like
Nay,
automatic.
nay. Turned right around, and despite Hiko's best efforts, he's still going to have to clutch what is a 1v4, 35 seconds. Again, time an opponent of his, but the aim a component of his success. There you go, 9-6. Cloud9 really clear out those last few rounds, and Rogue still have enough done to give us a testing in the second half, but a test it will most certainly be.
Yeah, so Rogue got the clean 4-0, and then it was like 5-1. Then they found one more round, and then it was just all the way back for Cloud9, and we'll see in these replay pre-highlights. It's that Cloud9 getting the 2 in the row, starting here with Rush, who seems to be back in the right mood to be fragging. His mechanics are now on point. And here it is, Cloud9, 5 rounds. That was the last run that Rogue got.
Metal really turned hard here, man. I'm liking this music. I'm pumped.
I actually can't hear it at all, but that's cool.
Oh,
I'm sure it's a great song.
yeah, a little metalcore. Now it's calming down because we have to get back into the business.
Right, we've got to change the mood now. Slow it down. Play the Barry Manilow.
Building the suspense because a pistol and conversion could tie things up at 9. Or we're going to get, again, right, what we saw on the opening map between these two. I did think it was pretty 50-50 in this matchup. I said that maybe Rogue had an edge here just because we'd seen some promising stuff from them. But there's a lot of teams so far this season that I think it's just toss-ups. It's really a map-to-map basis.
Mm-hmm. It does really feel like that. I think a lot of people are finding their maps, and a lot of them will be decided by how comfortable they feel in Pro League.
And even within the map-to-map basis, I feel like it's safe to say there's half-to-half basis.
Sure. Yeah, a lot of walkaways in the second half after like a really competitive first half, so teams not having just a very complete game, almost. It's going back for more? Potentially so. But Hiko's denied this vision, so whatever they do now, that little play was definitely worth it. Smoke to the CT spawn. 3 players coming out to mid. Checker's going to be wide open. The rotates are out for the CTs.
Quick tap first. Bomb still should be able to get by. Couldn't do it for too long. Skadoodle, if he dies, it's done for. Nice flicks from Rick. Very slick. Him and Crystal lock it down.
Very well done. The flash was perfectly timed. Ricky knew exactly how to turn from that and could have got shot in the back of the head if somebody was flashed a little bit too late, but that wasn't the case. And now Rogue are back on their feet. Into Eco. Few SMGs up for Rogue. Cloud9 have forced up, however. Can't count them out. but you can
Kill him.
count Skadoodle out. That's a better way to say that.
He gone. Tries, but dies. Blasted away. As is expected, despite the force buy here, obviously the weaponry is where we give the edge. Up close, MP5 and MP9 will most certainly succeed. They do their job superbly. Golden with a reload.
I feel like if it's hardware, it's got to be metal.
Yeah? What isn't metal other than body armor and a kit?
Molotovs.
That's literally the one thing again. You've done it.
I think that's the pain point of it's the only
How
pain
long
point.
have you been brewing on this? Because that was a long time ago.
Well, I've been brewing as long as that gasoline-soaked rag in a bottle would do. I had to finish this sentence off.
Just let it float in limbo,
Yeah.
like Flusha is
Like
towards
a
mid.
Gasoline-soaked rag in a bottle.
Have you ever made a Molotov?
No, why would I ever have made a Molotov?
I don't know.
You live in rural Canada, so you could do that and it wouldn't seem completely illegal.
Yeah, I've shot guns and all that
Yeah, I mean,
jazz.
that's I think it's different.
No, I mean in my backyard. Can't do that in Toronto,
Yeah, no.
but you can. But
Do
shouldn't.
you own weapons?
Me, no.
Oh, shooting other people's guns.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's what we do in rural Canada.
nice. Got to keep yourself entertained.
Yeah.
That
Go
or
shoot some
esports.
22s.
You know,
I can ride a horse too, if you didn't know that about
I
me.
can ride a horse as well.
Well,
Sure. I went on a couple week long camping trip in Alberta and went horseback riding into the mountains only to camp there.
I can't see you riding a horse.
I did. What?
I only see you riding subways.
It's not even that difficult.
Oh, on, this could be a slaughter. Unarmored and unarmed T's all filtering into middle. Rick nearly gets caught by automatic, but he still gets the best of him, and everybody's dead. A rapid round versus Cloud9. No surprise. Rogue convert fully off pistol.
Even footing now. Couldn't be any more close. Tense situation. Bonus round, though, for Rogue. Full-fledged one at that, as they didn't lose a single player. Look at them all taking care of each other here, making sure not to expose themselves too much. It's an absurd amount of utility. Almost everyone getting a nade single flash these days to make room for that HE. Then picking up a Molotov, the smoke to support. You ever gone kayaking?
Yeah.
Whitewater rafting?
No.
Boom, point for Londas.
You ever had a knuckle sandwich? Because you're getting close to your first.
No, yeah, of course I've been punched in the face. You haven't?
No, I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were in the prison system.
Once upon a time. I'm never sure if I should clarify
You probably
why. or
should
just let it
clarify,
work.
but,
I
yeah.
worked there. I worked inside a prison.
That's what he tells people.
Looks better on a resume. Fire in the flames inside of the vent. Crystal still actually not having to fall off could spell disaster for the T's. Yeah, he gets the element of surprise, still dies after only one. And it's Hiko on the opposite side of vent to pick up the double. Automatic, all that's left. 3 opponents ahead. And he could just eject through vent. Ooh, is he fast enough? Absolutely not. Rick A, one quicker, grabs himself an AK, the parting gift, the fruits of his labor. A trio of Kalashnikovs moving forward into this one. Those are freebies, Mohan.
Do you think Rogue actually win this game?
I think there's a possibility.
I thought it was over, man. I thought Cloud9 were going to win for sure, but Rogue looks solid right there.
Again, if Pro League's taught me anything so far, is
Anything
that
is
like
possible.
unless you have very kind of lopsided matchups, the switching of the halves can do anything.
Switching of the halves, yeah.
It's like switching of the guard.
That's what it sounds like. That's what I was trying to figure out what that sounded like. Thank you.
You're welcome. Whoa, goodbye, flush up. He swung back faster than the door.
Golden. It's in mad mode. Got a bunch of kills. Automatic, though.
Pops Nico's noggin, then the trade straight back. Skadoodle, good cover into heaven. Maybe we gave Rogue too much credit, because Just a couple pistols in this one, and they have managed a 3v3 after plant on the B-bomb site, but Crystal's position catches them off guard. Found by surprise. Automatic tries to move, but he's already caught out into the open, and Rush announces himself by breaking vent, so it is going to be the Rogue retake. Still some losses, but what's important, of course, is 3 can buy 2. Economy's fine. Defuse on top of it. 11-9.
Yeah, simplest math right there. And wow, look at how much money they have, man. They got Hiko's got 10K, 613. Ricky was just over 10, Vice as well. And dude, this is going to be a hard, like a huge amount of money to chew through. At least Cloud9 got that eco, or got that bomb down, so they can kind of keep up here. But they're not going to be opping at all. And man, maybe Skadoodle should just pick up that op for old time's sake.
I'm waiting for it.
Come on.
We've seen him with an op one time today, and he clutches with a 4K.
I heard that guy's a pretty good opper.
Yeah, upcoming NA talent. Waiting for his chance. And this is Rogue waiting for the mid push to happen because they throw nothing there at the beginning of the round, so they need to know this is coming.
Oh, Tim actually does pick it up. Okay. Where is he playing from?
I think he's amidst the cohort towards middle.
Okay.
No, excuse me, he's the bomb carrier in secret. Squeaky. Sneaky. Skadoodle. Getting up close and personal. Goodbye, Ricky. Hello, Sick. Peeks mid, but no one's here. They've already gone right past. Using that utility to create a disjointedness in timing.
That was one hell of a crunch. That looked a whole lot more smooth for Cloud9. They were able to take highway control no problem. And their players in A main and Squeaky were perfectly timed their exits. And it looked like the A players had no help whatsoever. Everybody at mid was pushed into rotating through truck and from there neutralized. So now it looks like Rogue are just holding for exits in case anyone goes Squeaky. Hiko's going to have to turn tail and run. He's also here to hear the exits, which is quite interesting. So he can tell his teammates where they're going to be going towards. Is he? Oh, just wants to open that door just to
Spook him.
spook him a little bit.
Nobody dies after the bomb goes off, so that's 7 alive at the end of this one. And that is Cloud9 getting themselves the double digits.
Did you
keeping
say
them
7 alive? Oh, you mean in total?
Yeah.
There's 8.
Was there?
Yeah.
4 plus 3?
There's 3. Oh, wait, is there 4?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I'm sorry.
I scoff in your general
direction. I scoff around you.
Sometimes my tongue stops working.
That's never good. Strongest muscle in your body.
Is that true?
Yeah. Pound for pound.
Wow.
Think about all the things it can do.
I'd imagine more so for you because you talk a lot.
Could go to the top of your mouth, stay at the bottom, go over to the side, can make a taco out of it. Cool stuff.
Doors open. Spam's gone through a couple times, but nothing's really netted off of this. Ooh, I like this setup. They've gotten deep into the playground. Extinguish one, meet a second, but Hiko still has a little bit of a sanctuary. He also has Crystal, who I think may be the element of surprise really here. Or they just leave Hiko to his own devices and walk away. I mean, it's worst case scenario, 4 defenders on the A site. And if they go through middle, that's great. But now, things get tricky, because Skadoodle is dead. Still, no mid control for Rogue. That's not going to help them in holding off on A. But with the vent being popped and with the movement from Cloud9, options are still so open. So Rogue fall into a more standard setup. Will have someone towards checkers spotting bodies. Hiko needs to retreat. And at any point, Crystal could just strike from behind. They've all gone right past him. Crystal's going to be the linchpin. Oh, automatic.
Are you really aware of that?
That's so big. Massively important. And now Rush has himself that bomb. So they've chucked it over and they've enabled this plant. Automatic saves the day because Crystal could have gone astronomical. Still further damage. Vice with a bit of a wall bang. That's a big one. They're not going to be able to counter boost and vent, but he can just stand on it, anticipating that someone comes from mid. But Mohan, everybody's just walking up from spawn. And Sick uses headshot to get his first kill. Then he wins another duel. Excellent round from Sick. Excellent game through and through.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been exciting back and forth, and it really still can't tell who's going to win it. Cloud9 have a great way to get into the site. Oh my God, just checks behind him for just a moment. Crystal getting so unlucky, but Automatic nailing that shot. And yeah, it seemed like for sure it was over. There's so many ways for Cloud9 to lose, and somehow Rogue found a way into it, so that was nice. And I mean, it's so much worse for Cloud9. They lose that round because they at least have some money, but they buy down to basically zero, whereas Rogue could have definitely afforded it. Now, there's at least going to be a buy-up from both sides, so we still get to watch another rifle round. None of that eco stuff. Eco BS.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of another word.
I was trying to eco guff. My English teacher in high school would always say guff, and he said that was a abbreviation of garbage stuff.
Oh, we have Shinfo. The shortening of shitty info.
Shinfo. Okay, interesting.
Flashbang from the heavens, flashes into the eyes, does blind too, could slow things down, but it's not going to prevent the plant, unfortunately for Rogue. That's what they would really have wanted.
Well, it looks like they made another go of it. They've gotten on the site. Automatic is a little bit low here. Might be an interesting boost. Molotov seems to have gone a little bit too far. Could he do this? Oh, he does. Wow.
Slick Rick.
Very cool.
Can't retreat until the fire fades, and even with his beautiful little boost in heavens, they're not going to be able to get this round, but maybe they keep Cloud9 inside the bomb site, create more casualties of war. Hold on. They are charging inwards. I mean, time is definitely not on their side, but still they seem to chance this.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? The bomb was playing a default. Imagine if he gets that kill at headshot.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, I'm with you. Like, they at this point, look how late it is. Like, why are you going for this? But I guess it's because they have enough money that they bring it down to maybe one kill. It's worth it.
After watching all of the save calls on Inferno,
I know that after that, that's the retake they go
contrast.
for. That's they built up all that courage, and then they used it up right there. They've got none left now.
Now
they win in default, so they lose.
Cowardly. Still maintaining a 1-point lead, but letting that one slip past their fingertips. Cloud9 to 11. This has been a very back and forth game.
Absolutely fantastic match.
I don't have the kind of like the round outcome in front of me, but I'm imagining it's back and forth.
Lots of trades for sure.
It's felt that way at least. I'm surprised the cash has stayed as close as this, but you can see neither team really with a big bank. There's a couple players with money in Hiko and Sick, but outside of that, no savings.
Whoa. Maybe an unwarranted stack. Maybe they just want to group up for a main control early. Kind of creeping up on this with no flash. Does anything go in? Automatic. Does he get a kill? Ooh, misses a flick. Wouldn't have been an easy one. But they're now in a pretty powerful position. But look at that spam damage. Vice down to 11. He didn't ask for this.
Just wanted a little map control.
That's all.
Didn't have to be rude about it. Still 2 players a liability, now just 1. Nice headshot from Flusha. Vice deleted. But Crystal with a good angle as he watches back towards Squeaky Door, and then they're both cleared out. This is Cloud9 to tie 12 apiece.
They're working hard for these, and it looks very good when they do win. A site, it's been a little bit more fruitful than B, though. B, they have had the option. If I'm Rogue, I have no idea what's going to happen next round. They're going to be able to buy, I think, actually, wow, they've actually eaten through so much of their economy. It might be imperative that Ricky saves this AWP. And definitely money on a few players. It's definitely a cool way to round things out.
Do you think we'll get lucky and have the second overtime of the mainstream in the same night as the first?
I feel like for some reason it's not going to go to overtime because, I don't know, I guess I envisioned that Rogue were going to lose coming into this half just because for some reason, as soon as they start to slip up near the end of a game, it just
it goes away, right?
When it rains, it pours, it feels like.
And again, to reiterate, right, back and forth, economy's been all right for buys, but it's been a little strapped, and this time more so than ever. So I feel like, you know, if Cloud9 get 13 right here, we've got a broken Rogue, and they're going to force buy to the end.
Right, they'll probably force buy to the end. Yeah,
because of the state of the economies on each team, I feel like it's whoever gets, you know, the next couple, they're just going to be springboarding forward.
Just this tiny lead. That's, I feel like, all it needs, all one team needs.
Unless we start getting into those, you know, blunders of the pistol round upsets. Does happen at times.
Yeah,
the
team
Deagles
could
and
get
CZs.
ecoed. That's always on the board. Flush has made his way into CT spawn. This could be a powerful position if they could try to re-aggress. I don't know if they assume that he's not in here. They're really taking their time, so I think this is definitely a moment where you would want to clear this out. But Ricky's made his way out. Oh, Flush is going to hear this rotate too. Oh,
Makes
and
the
off
most
shot's
of it.
missed.
But
Oh, and he gets info on the last player at A.
So he knows it's got to be max 2 within this B bomb site, and his teammates just on the cusp of the push, yet to execute.
He just has to wait now because his teammates are outside B. They have such a big rotate to A. If he waits long enough, they're going to assume he's going to call for the rotate back to A, and now you can see them slowly start to filter their way back. Look at that. Just one player now, and all of a sudden, Cloud9 can suddenly go in.
Yeah, it's a bit of a gamble stack, actually. Rogue just kind of going into the opposite side
They got played.
like a fiddle. They will still manage to maintain mid-control. They do clear Flusha out of the equation, but what they don't do is manage to hold on to control of the bomb, nor its site.
What more can they do here? I mean, they know that all these players are rotating around from outside B, but they're not going as far as to go through mid or anything like that.
Looks like they will in the end. Going to use that vent to control, but what's the rotation over towards CT spawn? They're putting
Tim does
players
not.
towards the wall bang, trying to maybe, pressure and pinch this side? They do get that first kill thanks to Crystal, but now bomb is more than halfway gone. They need to get the retake rolling, and it's a flurry of frags to the favor of Cloud9. 1v1 Rush v Vice, and he's just going to dance around these boxes. He's got the footsteps, the audio, and probably the aim. Who will be slain? And does it even matter with time? Absolutely not. That is Cloud9 with a very costly 13th win.
Yeah, very costly. It came down to the wire. I really didn't like the afterplants, though. Rush really bailed him out here. He's having quite a game for himself, a lot better than he looked on the last map. But that was so strange how they left vent wide open, but then they had automatic kind of floating in B main. He wasn't even, I don't think anyone was watching big flank for him. Then Golden comes in from the site to peek into checker, to peek vent, and then just gets ops. Like, their spots could have been swapped, and that would have made more sense. Or automatic could have just been farther back in Sunroom, not gotten blind, been able to live, take an op shot. Something else. It seemed very, very strange for how much time they had to get set up too. But yeah, this is maybe what we were talking about. We'll see if it gets even worse for Rogue now. Flush is making his way up to top of Highway. He gets the first kill. A lot of damage on Ricky as well. The Opper down low. He's going to see 2 more targets, and maybe he calls for the B exec from his teammates.
He's just stacking up the damage. Over 200 now, thanks to the MAC-10. But it only does take 1 shot. Sick puts him to sleep. Hiko now could have a chance with a 5-7 out. Only good for 1. Automatic has to get the kill. Now they need the plant. It's even 3v3. Such low health, all thanks to Flusha.
Oh my god, he plants defaults. Why?
I don't know.
Oh, he just
about
doesn't want
that.
to get naded, I guess.
Could be it, but not as though this is a purchase. Not like Rogue have any utility other than the smoke and flash. Automatic actually exposed, but in doing so, he does catch Sick. Ricky eliminated. And the last man is, of course, Vice. CZ could clear headshot first. Remember, bomb is not planted safely for the after plant positions, but that does not make a difference because it's Cloud9 ascertaining a 14th round. 2, the gap now, and we talked about this, the outcome economically would be a great time for a pause, and I believe one's been called.
Yeah, and at least for Rogue, they don't have to make some kind of crazy force-up decision. They spent a little bit there. They got the op to recycle, so that was nice. I think that quenched their hunger, at least. Quenched their thirst. Can you quench hunger?
If you want
This is
to.
the conversation, I think. Yeah?
Sure.
Oh, I thought it was only for liquids.
Maybe.
Oh,
Well, you can do what you want.
okay.
No, because you satisfy hunger.
Satisfy hunger.
Yeah, hunger's a whole
Hunger
other
can be
beast.
satiated,
Yeah,
but can it be quenched? Yeah.
Solstice.
Quench sounds like a splash.
it does. A quench down. Like a splash down?
Oh, okay. What's a splash down?
I don't know, splash down? Like, I feel like the only thing I
The
know
look
of a
of
splash
confusion
down.
on our faces
okay, so
right
let's go to like, say you're at like a water park.
Yeah.
Right? And there's this big bucket over top of a playground.
Right.
And it slowly fills up more
Yeah,
and more
yeah.
and more. And then like
Until it
every
tilts.
5 minutes it tilts and it's the big splash down.
That's, I mean,
Yeah.
that seems like a viable explanation. I just don't feel like that was the intended. I don't think when whoever designed the bucket that fills up until it tilts and spills all the water wanted it to be called the splashdown.
I've always been scared by those things because like that's a lot of water.
It can hurt.
Water
You
weighs
can
a
crack
lot.
your neck, especially
You
if
know?
you're a young child.
Just a
with
little
big-
kid standing
you're
there
a
and
young
then-
child with a big head and a little neck.
Yeah.
Just crack it could crack it. Who knows? I wouldn't let my kid go under the splashdown.
I never like water parks because people splash me in the face with water.
People are very mean with water,
I hate that.
especially at a younger age.
It can be weaponized.
Easily.
You ever been sprayed by a fire hose?
Imagine if it's too hot or too cold. No, I haven't. Is that what you guys do? Just
No, I've
open up
never-
fire hydrants in small town
Never done that either.
Canada? While you shoot guns?
ride
Break open
horses.
fire hydrants and jarhead weapons into the air?
Things do get wild, and this could be another round where that exact same thing happens. What a rapid pace already. I mean, Hiko just goes walking into B main all alone, finds 3 Ts, and then Golden just hits up on the A site. This is a weird one.
They just took both sides. Golden had a different strategy. I think he said A in Swedish or something. I don't know why that happens. Why would you activate 2 sites at the same time? It works. He gets 2 kills on A even. But all that means is they could have gone there.
He's having a good game, actually, individually. Golden, 23 frags.
He's going in.
I think it's 22 right now for Rush as well.
Yeah, him and Rush are competing. Maybe that's why. Like, let's split up. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, entry both bomb sites.
Yeah.
What do you feel about Hiko kind of walking out
Oh.
into main?
Don't know. Didn't see that. In A main?
No, B main actually. That's why the burst happened. There was 3 Ts from Cloud9 just sitting outside of like the outer piece of B main.
Oh.
And then Hiko thinks that, you know, maybe it's clear for the taking, walks in, no flashes or anything, and
Right.
just gets wrecked.
Huge risk, right? And they had enough money for all the nades, so that is a good question. I didn't actually see it, so I don't know what info he thought he had, but your guess is as good as mine.
So here's the result, folks. 3 map points. Rogue done a great job of at least keeping this game close. It was very back and forth, but like we said, once Rogue kind of gets to the end of these second halves, they seem to fall flat.
A little bit, yeah.
And it's not like the economy has really screwed them in these last 3 at least. They have still managed decent enough buys. I mean, they've done more with less. So we'll have to see if they can do that yet again, and 3 rounds consecutive. No longer do they have a margin of error. It's got to be a flawless finish. Like Tommy.
Like who?
Tommy. Lurpus.
Flawless finish?
Isn't he Finnish?
Oh, I see.
Oh, nice clear from Rush. That's a big one. Ricke's up close, gets half blinded. That's not the good look for Rogue. They have lost a body. Skadoodle's still just creeping around the B site, maybe trying to catch Hiko another round in a row, because while they did get a little bit of squeaky control and some mid as well, they haven't maintained A main. But now they'll catch 6. It gets a little too adventurous, and Vice is there to trade. Sure enough, it leaves us in the 3v3 as Rush moves quickly up from highway, finding Christo, who did just lay down the flames. And there you go, Vice obviously on the box. Once you're revealed in that position, it's so easy to clear you. It's gonna come down to Hiko, a 1v3 clutch, and it's never gonna happen when Flusha has aim like that. It is Cloud9 with a secondary win. They take the series, not giving it up to Rogue, despite valiant efforts. Like we said, the ending of the second halves just doesn't quite seem to be where Rogue will succeed.
Yeah, they kind of gave it their best shot. They kind of did as well as we expected, and unfortunately their best was not good enough today. But what an exciting match to end it on.
Still close matches, right? And again, we're at that kind of like top bit of the middle of the pack. So these are important victories for Cloud9, I think, right? And we'll see if our boys on the analyst desk thinks it's just as important as we close.
I always think it's important to hear from you guys as well. Them beautiful faces leading us through it all. Our Canadian brothers over there making it work. Making Finnish comments and not including you in it. They said, Tommy, when we've got the real OG here.
I mean, talking about Tommy, who doesn't even live in Finland anymore, hasn't lived for years anymore,
See?
actually. I'm not even sure if he has a passport at this time.
So he's just never allowed back in. You've
Probably
lost
not.
your citizenship.
Probably not. He's done for.
After his Tesla tweets, it makes sense, right? But no, in all seriousness, Cloud9 do take the win again. They have a swift 2-0 now, and one actually that after this week they very much needed, right?
Yeah, definitely did, and I mean, definitely improvement on their part. Before the games that they've had, it's always been the first half that they've actually managed to do some work. The T sides have been okay, but the CT halves have usually been the ones that they've crumbled on. So yeah, definite improvement.
So now looking at Rogue, right? we expected maybe a little bit more from them on the first map, a bit better going into this second map, but it's that struggle when they get a few rounds together to kind of hold on to it still.
Yeah, I mean, if you think of this match, it started out pretty flawlessly for Rogue. They were 4-0 up, thanks to Sick, who had a sick clutch in a 1-on-4 situation, a round that he should have never actually won, but still managed to make it happen somehow.
Can I just come back to that bit as well? It's like the round he should have never won is very right, because that spot is first of all obvious, second of all checkable, and then it's like they went one by one into it. Why? It's just made no sense. You gifted him that round.
Yeah, it was a blunder.
Yeah,
what else can
one.
you say, really? I mean, I don't even know how to describe it, honestly. People coming from his right. He's at the first boxes at the corner of the B bomb site, starts spraying, gets the first two. There's a third guy coming in from CT spawn, and then even a fourth guy from the other angle. And somehow he managed to get them all. One of those things that you just kind of look back at and think, like, how is this even possible?
Yeah.
But sometimes the impossible can be made possible.
Oh, yes, we know all about that as well after seeing a lot of these games this week.
Yeah, that's true.
That concludes our whole first week, right? So let's take a look at today's results.
Beautiful results, aren't they? Obviously, the first time we got to see Envy play, score-wise 6-16 and 16-7, or 16-6 and 16-7 wins for Liquid in the first series, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, okay from Envy. I thought, you know, they got some okay starts, but then just couldn't really handle in the second halves. MIBR obviously almost dropping the ball against Ints in the first one.
That was rough. That's when we started to think, oh, God, this is a bit of a panic.
Yeah, Dust 2 wasn't great, was it? But eventually they swept it on overtime 4-0, making it a 19-15 win. And then once we moved over to Inferno,
the more tactical side
exactly.
for them.
Yeah, Inferno, and they 16-4, quite straightforward, actually.
Yeah, much more what we expect of MIBR.
Exactly. That pretty much the first time all week that we can say that about MIBR.
Yeah.
Then closing it out with Cloud9 with a 2-0 victory here. Obviously, again, the great thing, if you look at this last matchup, the conclusion has to be that Cloud9 definitely is improving. It's not just the numbers, it's not just that they got these wins, but they actually managed to put together maps where there was not just one side or one part of it that was good.
Well, this is where our standings sit. And remember, Renegades are still going to be at the top, Ghost Gaming in second, MIBR in third. And MIBR, right, considering how they started with 2 losses to Ghost Gaming, this is a good bounce back into it. But still, so many more games to be played. Now, Envy and Ints, we saw them both lose their games, but there's still plenty more chances in there. Luminosity have made their way a little bit further up. Cloud9 after this as well, after that victory, because, yeah, this isn't fully correct, is it, for them? No, so that's not been updated, at least for the Cloud9 side of things.
Yeah.
They will make their ways up that list a little bit further. Team Liquid, they've had the 1 win, 1 loss, but obviously things like that will change around for them today as well. So it's looking a little bit better. But on the EU side of things, now this is something very interesting. The new North lineup at the top. Space Soldiers in a good position as well. Astralis and Mousesports, you can kind of expect to be that way. Biggs hanging in there at the same time. Na'Vi yet to play a game. And Nip, though, oof, and FaZe.
Yeah,
that's a bit rough.
I was going to say NIP, obviously the biggest surprise in terms of where they're sitting right now on the leaderboard for EU side of things. And North, obviously, you know, bringing in Kaden and Gade, that's a big change. MSL having to get benched. Obviously, he's been the leader of this pack for the longest of times. Then the way that they happen too. I mean, they win Stockholm and then
Just like, here you go, Marcel, I'll give you your crown, and then actually, nah.
that'll be a
Get on over here.
great leaving party. Thank you.
So, next set of matches coming up, but we are taking a week break, guys. There's the Star Series where you'll see some of our faces you've seen from this. A little bit of NA and EU Pro League here for ESL. But when we come back, you'll be seeing some of these matches on your screen with 2 streams going live for the NA side of things. NRG versus Liquid. Now that is a real banger to start off with.
Yeah, that's definitely 2 big dogs of well, what we expect to be at the top part of the leaderboards for sure towards the tail end of the season. So yeah, it's good to see these teams face off one another. Obviously, NRG, they've still got something to prove to us, but definitely they're on the right route.
And remember, NRG was the team that last season got dubbed Online RG, right? That was one of the things that was thrown out there.
Not so much now.
No, not so much now. They've proved it at main events, at big events. They proved it in New York as well. And the thing I love about this is if they can just take some of what they've learned here, because obviously, remember, they went to New York and they got 2-0'd by Liquid. It was kind of a bit easy for Liquid at that point, who were just obviously on a tear. But what I really want to see is just, okay, take that pressure off them, take them off the big stage, and let them see go head-to-head against Liquid again.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's good to see that. I think the big part for me is that they didn't get demotivated by the fact that they couldn't make the major, because obviously they were very much favored to go through the American minor.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people were kind of afraid that they would go on to make some roster changes, but it's good thing to see that they're actually sticking to their guns and just making sure that, you know, this lineup has potential. So just keep working at it. Don't get demotivated by just one little thing that happened. Obviously at the wrong time, it's always not great to miss out on a major, but got to look at the big picture.
Well, we've got just one little thing to show you before, because we're going to update them standings for you. So you can take a look at them once again. Renegade still at the top. MIBR in second now after theirs. Ghost in third. And there you go. Liquid saw their way up into fourth place, as we'd expect. Cloud9 in fifth as well. And again, Ints and MV at the bottom. But at least for Ints, they had the 1-1 in there.
Definitely. And that's really, really important for them, too. Getting those early maps is for a new team is always a big thing.
Oh, yes. Well, that is us done and dusted for today. And one thing to say as well, this man by the side of me, you've done not just this whole week, but you've also been a little bit under the weather as well, but you still crushed it. Good old Nati. You can rely on him no matter what, even if you do space out every now and again on me. I'm not letting you live that down.
Listen, things happen. Things happen when you do things at 5 in the morning.
Yes. We have learned that in a crazy fashion. But that is all from us at the ESL Pro League North America. Guys, we will see you in just over a week's time. Enjoy yourselves and check out all the Counter-Strike action.